Hi guys, I thought I would show you guys how to make a clean image with any kind of stamp. A clean image regardless, especially a large stamp or a stamp that has a wide base to it, a large background to it. Actually, I should be using this one instead of that one. So for example, this is from the Dress to Impress. I'm going to use the lipstick and the Dress to Impress. I thought it was super cute. I think my nieces and my sister, my older sister, would probably like it because of the, you know, it's got the perfume on it. It's got the perfume on it. It's got lipstick. I don't know. I just think it's kind of sweet, very girly. So what I was going to show you was that when you have a large image and you stamp it straight onto the table, you often get a weird like window that didn't, it's like the ink wasn't there. So let me ink this up. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure I can get everything in camera. Okay. And so say I want to put this right, let me put it down here so I can, right, and say I put this right down and I press on it. See, and look at the center. I couldn't get the center to ink. It's not, but the ink is still on the stamp. It's still on the stamp, but it's just not showing up it's not showing up because of the way in which I put it. So, I mean, not the way in which I put it. It's because a big stamp, a really large stamp needs, or a stamp that's really solid, needs like a pad under it or a catalog or a stack of papers. Like I like to also use, when I don't have this little pad, I'll also use the catalog. You see how thick that catalog is? So I could use this on the bottom. You don't have to buy anything for it. It's just, I happen to buy this little pad. But you can use anything you want. And so I stamp it up again. I think I'm crooked. Okay, stamp it up again. And then, let's see if I can get it right in the center. Oh, perfect. Look at that. I rocked it a little bit, I think. No, I didn't. Yeah, you don't rock it. Yeah, see, I rocked it a little. See how I got that little mark down there? If I'd done it a little cleaner, I wouldn't have had it. I noticed just as I was pressing it, I think just because I was nervous about the camera, I rocked it, and so it came out a little funny. But most people wouldn't even notice that. I might actually still use this because 99.9% of people won't notice that I made this minor mistake. If I were super OCD, then maybe I'd worry about it, but I kind of like when there's little mistakes because then you know it's handmade as opposed to a Hallmark machine-made card that's always perfection. But I don't know, I think the mistakes always make things a little bit better. But if it's really a problem, I just ink it up again, and I have my little mat here, try to get it in the center. And voila, clean. Look at that, I'm amazing. And it might be a little crooked, so I can trim the paper and make sure that it's not crooked. You know, if I make an image that's crooked on my paper, 99% of the time, I just trim it to where it's straight. That's all I do. I don't do anything fancy because why waste that image? You just stamped it. So I've got one like that, but the other one I wanted to show you, I'm gonna cover up my black so I don't get it mixed up, is I wanted to show you the lipstick here. And I had this little piece of white. So here I'm gonna use pink. This is like a big splotch kind of thing is how that's the way I describe it. Ooh, I pressed it a little hard. I got it in my fingers. You only need to tap it. These are Stampin' Up! Stamp pads, and you only need to tap it because they tend to be pretty juicy. So you just tap it on there. And so I go ahead and I stamp this down. Perfect. I got my perfect splotch. If I did it without on the back side, you'll see I'm probably going to get a little bit of a, see, I got that little hole in there. It's not a big deal, but it's not the goal of the image. The goal of the image is that you have this nice splotch all the way across. Splotch, I keep saying that, but it's really just like a, you know, a background color. And what you do with that background color is you take your handy dandy lipstick, for example, because it's the perfect shape for it. And, whoop, oh, almost dropped it on there. And you just, you know, you just add this to that. So you've colored it without coloring it. And this is a very common thing that people will do. They'll use that, or they'll use a different, and that way it's colored without being colored. And if you had another image to put next to it, if I use the perfume and I put the perfume next to it, same thing. Or I could take a different color of this splotching and or this little splotch, and I put another lipstick next to it. It would just, it gives the image the idea that it's colored and it's not. And so that's just another way to get that clean, smooth stamp when you have a large base on your, a large base for your image. This is a stamp that actually we're gonna use in a class that I'm doing soon, and it's just a little Christmas tree, just a little Christmas tree. But if I take that Christmas tree and I stamp it here on the table, usually it's going to be funky. See, there's a little spot there, but when I put it up on the pad or up on a catalog or something, it's gonna come out much cleaner than if I put it just straight on the table. Okay, see, look at how nice and clean that is comparatively. And so this is just a technique I wanted to show you to make sure you could figure out how to have nice large images and clean images for large stamps and stamps that have a lot of surface area. That was the word I kept thinking of, surface area.